Good Monday morning, Southwest Arkansas, July 29th here. Welcome back to a Monday morning here in your daily outlook for today. We're going to take a look at today's outlook and we're going to go over the 6-day forecast, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the tropics briefly and just go over that and talk about the heat has returned, and we'll talk about all of that in current conditions here in just a minute. But welcome back, and as always, have a good rest of your day and enjoy today's outlook for your Monday. So starting off this Monday by taking a look at current conditions across southwest Arkansas as of 9:23 a.m. We can currently see temperatures are in the 80s across the area here, upper 70s, the lower 80s here across the area, probably in the lower 80s. This was last updated at about 8 a.m., so about an hour and 30 minutes ago almost. So these are probably going to be into the 80s, upper 70s here. That trend's going to continue throughout the day, but we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Real quickly, let's take a look at the satellite currently across the area. You do just have some cloud cover, mostly sunny skies across the area, though does look like what we're going to see throughout the day today. Not a whole lot of cloud cover, but mostly sunny to sunny skies across the area. Taking a look at it naturally, you can kind of see these are high level clouds across most of the area. Basically what that means, some thin clouds, kind of can still see through them if you look up, but you do have just a few thicker clouds there. But that trend's probably going to continue, mostly sunny to sunny skies throughout the day, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. So taking a look at today's forecasted highs, you can see going to be a warm day today. Forecasted highs are going to be up in the mid 90s here, around 94, 93 to 96 degrees across the area is what we're predicting here for your forecasted highs. One thing to mention throughout this week, not really expecting with that ridge for us to being able to reach those triple digits or the triple digit mark, mainly because the soil moisture is still great across general portions of the area. And usually when that happens, what that basically causes is your humidity to go up, feel like temperatures to go up, but your actual ground temperature or your actual temperatures or actual air temperatures are gonna kind of be in that mid to upper 90s range. When you start to lose that soil moisture, that's when you have that greater potential to reach those upper 90s and into the hundreds there as well. But we have a lot of that soil moisture just scattered across the area. I know last week it was basically hit or miss for a lot of people. Some people seen a lot of rain, others did not. But for today, forecasted highs are going to be in the mid to 90s. Heat index values will be in the hundreds here across the area, reaching up to 105 degrees, potentially between 105 and 110 degrees. We do have heat advisories out for today across most of the area except for Polk and Montgomery County areas. I do think you still reach the upper 90s and near that 100 degree mark for your heat index values, but heat advisories down here in southern Arkansas and in Arkansas has to be above 105 degrees or more across the area. So heat index values near or slightly above 105 are expected today across southwest Arkansas into south central Arkansas from noon today to 8 p.m. This evening. Hot temperatures and humidity may cause heat issues. Just make sure to continue just to drink plenty of water. Make sure to stay cool. If you can do your stuff this week in the morning, try to get that stuff done. If you got to be outside in the mornings or be outside, get your stuff done in the mornings if you can. If you can't, just make sure to stay hydrated, stay cool the best you can. Make sure to take frequent breaks. It's going to be a hot week. Summer's back. We go from below average temperatures in the 80s to back up to near normal for this time of year and potentially above normal, with summer making its big return here as we head into this rest of today and throughout the week. But we'll talk about what's going on throughout the rest of this week here in just a minute. Taking a look at tonight's overnight lows or today's forecasted lows. Overnight lows or today's forecasted lows will be in the mid 70s across the area, ranging from 74 to maybe even 77 there across far southern Arkansas there as well. So once again, some warmer temperatures. Summer is back, and we're going to see that heat for a bit that high pressure system has moved over us and will continue to move over us there as well. And we're going to take a quick look at the updated 6-day forecast here in just a minute. Taking a look at the 6-day forecast across the area for this week. Monday, starting off with today, once again, mid-90s for highs look likely. Mostly sunny to sunny skies with hot conditions. Overnight low is going to be in the mid-70s. As we go throughout this week, mainly see the trend of sunny, hot, and dry conditions. Highs are going to be in the mid to upper 90s throughout this time frame. Heat index values will be in the near heat advisory or heat advisory and excessive heat warnings basically throughout this upcoming week is where heat index values will probably be around this week, in that 105 110 degree range, maybe even higher than that as we head throughout this week. Very hot conditions by this end of this week. Highs nearing the upper 90s, and once again, overnight low is going to be in the 70s throughout this time frame. Not much else to talk about. That nice cooler air, that rain and such that we seen last week starts to go away, and the heat returns as we head into August, and we'll continue to watch that closely. Real quickly though, before we end today's coverage or in today's video, we're going to take a quick look at the tropics, what's ongoing down there, and we'll go over that. It's still early in what we're talking about, but we're going to go over that and just show you a brief overview of what we could potentially see going on down there in the tropics as well. Taking a quick look here, just a peek at what we're seeing in the tropics, we do have an area that we're going to be watching. 50% chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. It's a medium chance, and it's going to be kind of, from here in this area up towards the Florida area potentially. There's still a lot of questions that will have to be answered. Once again, this is an area that the National Hurricane Center is watching. What exactly impacts the U.S., what it could have on the U.S. or something of that nature, it's still too early to know for sure. There's really, as you can see, there's not a whole lot going on here. We'll have to watch and see. I really think as we head into August, tropics are going to potentially kick back into gear, but we'll watch that closely. Here in just a minute after this little segment here, we're going to go over some ensemble data. What ensembles are basically is it's basically like our model guidance. It's pretty much what our model guidance is, but with those, it takes basically multiple, it basically takes, the best way to explain it, these ensembles basically take multiple scenarios of what could potentially happen with that, and kind of gives you an idea, a general idea on what we could potentially see with it. You got to remember though, it's super early. There's not even a named system yet out of this, but there is that chance as we head into throughout this week that we could potentially see that. It's still early. There's going to be a lot of changes, and we're going to keep you updated on that just in case. Just to remember to keep an eye on the tropics. It's that time of year. We're gonna go over that here in just a minute and show you what we're meaning by that. You got to remember though, it's going to change. We're going to go over that daily and just show you what we could potentially see and what the general idea with this is. Once again, here locally, we're going to see that heat and that high the heat in summer basically make its return, and we'll keep an eye on the tropics just for any of our friends or family that lives in Florida, going out to Florida for vacation or anything of that nature just along the coast. It's that time of year, so remember to keep an eye on the tropics as well, and we'll talk about what could potentially happen with this right after this. So, real quickly, what is this? This is ensemble data. This is one of the many tools that we use to build a forecast. What this does, once again, as I explained recently, this basically takes multiple scenarios of the atmospheric conditions and changes them just to get a general idea on what we could potentially see. So what you see here is all these different little L's or low pressure systems is basically the same storm that we're watching or potentially watching or potential tropical development, and plots it here just to show you what the general idea is. You do see one or two of these that kind of go into the Gulf. We'll watch that, but the general idea with this data and with this one ensemble, the European ensemble, is it basically takes this, and as you can see here, it kind of has that general idea. It starts to form off over here, and as it heads towards the U.S., it does currently show this curving and going, basically away from the U.S. But there is a few, that do show something getting into the Gulf. We'll monitor that. You got to remember, this is going to change multiple times before we get to what actually occurs. It's super early. This just is one of the many tools we use to help us build a forecast. It's not the only thing. Right now, usually the thing is, if you're multiple days out, like 10 or so, or 7 or more days out, you kind of look at this ensemble data to get a general idea. Not the exact forecast, but a general idea on what could potentially occur. With this one ensemble, it shows that the majority of these basically curving off and going off into the Atlantic. We'll watch it closely. There, you do have a few there, and we'll have to watch that. If we take a look at the GFS one, let's show you a little bit about what this is showing potentially as we head into this next time frame. Or well, I'll have to go back here. Give me 1 second. So let's go back here, and this kind of shows you something similar. Here, let's get a little further to it. You're gonna have to ignore all those. Really, the main focus is watch these down here, and as we go forward, well, as you can see, it's going to take its time to show anything. But here you go. You kind of can start to see an area here where these could potentially form, and the GFS kind of shows something similar. With some of these curving up here with this, and there's actually there's a lot of disagreement with the models basically currently ongoing with this. But this kind of has these basically doesn't have a lot of agreement as we've seen with the European, and that's probably what we'll continue to watch for. That's once again, this is one ensemble from two ensembles. There's a lot that goes into forecasting. Model guidance is a tool, but not everything. I just wanted to show you that, just to show you, hey, here's what the general idea is currently. But as we get closer, there's going to be changes. There will be, and we'll start to get more information on this, and we'll give you more of an update as we continue to get closer. It may not necessarily affect Southwest Arkansas. Once again, it's still too early to tell you, hey, this area could see it, this area couldn't. It's still too early. Right now it's an area that the National Hurricane Center is watching, but there is not any named systems in the Atlantic at this current time. But there's that potential within the next 7 days, and we'll continue to watch that. I hope this helps kind of give you a general idea. Make sure to follow your local meteorologist. If you're in the Florida area or along the Gulf Coast, National Hurricane Center, your local National Weather Service offices as well. It's always great to have multiple sources for weather, not just us, and not just, one, just in case something happens, and, like if we lose power and we're not able to cover or something of that nature, you have those multiple sources to have more information and just get a general idea and good understanding of what's ongoing. And as always, have a good rest of your Monday. Thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe here on YouTube as well. We post a lot of stuff over on Facebook and Instagram throughout the day and weekly. We'll try to get back on track with doing these daily here as well. And when we get a little closer to school time starting for most of Southwest Arkansas, we'll have a back to school forecast for you, and we'll continue with that trend there as well as we head throughout the rest of the school year. So as always, have a good rest of your Monday, and thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather.